Hi, happy Saturday. Or not so happy, just hello Saturday. Hello Saturday. Oh, I was just pondering happiness again and just being like, we're just such twats, aren't we? Like little humans, like we expect so much and we expect like permanency of states, like it's like we all want to attain happiness. It's like, what is happiness? Happiness is a feeling, isn't it? That can arise through so many different things, but it doesn't stay there forever. Like, nothing really stays forever, does it? Everything is transient. And yeah, I think like just even like as a kid, I had such a cynical outlook, and people have took the piss out of me or berated me for it like through my whole life. I don't care. It's the way I am. It's the way I was made. It's it's definitely something that I'm aware of. To not always just be like such a skeptical, cynical bitch about everything. But it's quite echoey in here, isn't it? I've not heard my own voice really talking to myself for so long. What am I on about? Who cares? Yeah, like I need to talk, like actually to make myself feel better. And because I was feeling so shit, Mark and the kids have just gone out for a bike ride, and I'm like, I don't want to go because I'm a Mardy cow. So I stayed here and I thought, well, I don't have a little chat at myself and see what comes out, And it's so funny because it's like I always cheer myself up. Oh, shit. Oh, I always cheer myself up. And actually yesterday, I don't even know it. Are you allowed to do anything like this or laugh about anything like this? I don't even care. But yesterday, the only thing that, well, there was two things that I laughed at yesterday. And it's not like me that it's like I'm quite a happy, jolly little creature. Like I'm quite, I'm just like, I'm pretty upbeat and funny and cheerful most of the time, and I find humour in stuff. But like this last couple of weeks, I've just been so like, ugh. Like Shell. I kept saying, why don't you call me Shelley to Mark? Because I feel like I've just been like a shell, just not much. I'm not really bouncing off anything. I'm just like in my own little shell, just like, and still wanting more of the whole, that I'm in. Like quite often just like wanting to shut the curtains and get in bed. So stagnating big time, procrastinating, doubting myself big time. Like I've been in some shit, in my thoughts and my and I guess I'm at this point where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing and what can I do? And it's definitely more than I'm doing now. Shit. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I don't know. I think like this journey is difficult. It's endless. And this is what I mean about transiency. Have I mentioned this? I'm not sure. Like everything's a state, everything's a phase, and I'll come through this phase of gag, and hopefully I'll come through it quicker now I'm talking about it, because that usually happens. But like, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on in the world? And what do I do about it? What am I here for? And then at the same time, having this sort of like real, like deep-seated fear that I've not really acknowledged or felt before. It's like bubbling up to the surface, like, ooh, like, ooh. I don't know. I've just not felt as jolly as I have recently. Like all the way through the last, 2.5 years or whatever, I've had moments of obviously like rage and infuriation, and is that a word? I don't know, but just, being livid about shit. But I always had this overarching feel of just like, but this is, this is gonna wake everybody up. And like I don't have any friends really, and I don't have any family really either. And so it's like, I know what's going on, Mark knows what's going on, and our very few friends that we could count on one hand know what's going on. So it's like, and everything else is sort of like, you know, just baseline chat about stuff. So I don't even know if more people have woken up over the last 2 years. I don't know if anything's actually made a dent, or if we're just viewing this now. So I've been thinking about the internet a lot, and just, you know, I don't want to demonize things, and I don't want to berate anything as well. It's like, I'm here chatting into a phone, making myself feel better, sharing my fucking sins, lightening the load. But in all seriousness, there's definitely something about sharing as well. And I've said before, you know, like the witness, and thank you for being my witness, you know. But if it wasn't you, it could be any old person on the internet, you know. Yeah, like, this is a space for me to bare my soul, and it feels like the most natural way. Like, I like writing, but I don't write in anything that makes any sense. I just write notes and strange shit, and, you know. Oh, and this is another thing. It's another thing that's like, all my life, you know, I've wanted to write a book, and I felt like I should write a book. And then, I feel like it's like almost getting to this point now where I'm like, you know, like, too many choices make me feel sick, and so I do none. I've got a real problem with starting projects, keeping it going. I think, you know, actually inside me, there is something that's much weaker than I would like to admit, that kind of always expects an opportunity to arise that never has done. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, like a discovery. Like, oh, you're perfect for my, I don't know, my job that pays billions, you know, and you don't have to do anything but chat shit. Like, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? You know, obviously that's not going to happen. I've got to make my own shit happen. And I think, you know, just sitting and thinking, and like, I have a lot of nervous energy. So like, you know, just like cleaning or moving, or I don't know, I'm just such a weird, frantic bitch. And I'm sick of it. Like, I feel like all my emotional body is just in some disarray right now. Like, you know, my aura, it's just totally fucked, and I'm drinking a lot of coffee, I'm smoking too much, I'm doing all right with my food. Like, I'm eating loads of salad, which is good, but then I'm still eating lots of chocolate at night, or crisps or whatever, which is full of sugar and bad. And so, you know, I don't drink alcohol, but blah blah blah, what, who fucking gives a shit? Like, we are all individuals. I know for sure that we shouldn't be fucking judging each other, you know, on what we're doing, let alone what we're fucking thinking. And it's so funny, like, that there's just fucking carnage and chaos, and it's like, nobody knows anything. God's sake. Anyway, whatever. Let me look at my little notes. This was from yesterday. I put feeling hollow, empty, stagnated, hopeless. Oh, poor me, stuck. But yeah, definitely. And I've noticed that, like, I'm really not as in control of my emotions as I thought I was. Obviously, I'm way better than I used to be. And I feel like you know, regardless of peaks and troughs, I do continue the incline, or, you know, the path to centre or whatever. I do my best to keep on that fucking narrow road, you know, that straight and narrow. And, yeah, at the same time, it's really important to just dip into, like, you know, other things, isn't it? What the hell am I on about? God. Yeah, anyway. So I wrote down here, like, everything passes, and states are phases and moments in time. And they really feel like that to me. And that's why I really don't like anything to do with, like, so-called mental health and mental health labels, and all the trend and the craze, and the, you know, this revive of, like, you know, pseudo-psychologists, and everybody's declaring the boyfriends and the girlfriends narcissists or borderlines, or, and I've done, by the way, I've done that myself. I have done that. Like, not gonna lie, bad time for me, just like throwing labels out left, right, and centre. But I think we all have these experiences and we're drawn to this information for a reason. You know, like, what do you call it? Psychoanalysis? Psychoanalysis, that's it. But anyway, so yeah, you know, like, I've moaned about this so many times, but it's like the labels, they capture a state, a moment in time. Not everything, obviously. Some people are just born the way they are, you know, and that's quite obvious. But, you know, there's just so many people that are like being diagnosed with this, that, and the other, or the kids have got this, that, and the other, all these letters and all these diagnoses. And I just wonder how helpful it is. I do. And you know, it's like some people that I've asked have found it helpful, you know. But I just wonder anyway. So it's like I've just been feeling like just that nothing, and maybe this is why I'm feeling the fear actually, because I'm really starting to feel the truth of like you know, that nothing's permanent on earth. Nothing here is permanent. And like, I guess we're here to detach from every outcome. And Mark and I were talking about this the other day. I was saying, like, you know, when you've got kids, it's almost like impossible to do that. But it's all done within, and it doesn't affect, you know, it's not a question of loyalty or what you would do for your kids or anything like that. It's a it's a release and a feeling and an acknowledgement of a transitional state. But God, like, I've just been feeling so much emotion, and like, obviously it's the things that I've also chosen to watch, you know, to consume. And I've watched a load of these, this was a couple of weeks ago, but a load of these videos of, you know, just like characters off like Skid Row, homeless people in LA. And so like a lot of fentanyl addicts. And there's this channel called Soft White Underbelly. I'll put a little thing of it on here because, but be warned, they're quite addictive. But God, they're fascinating, you know, just to listen to these people's stories. And, you know, there's not many of them. I think maybe I heard one or two and you could tell that there was a bit of bullshit in it. But I've not heard many that go, you know, he starts off by saying, how's your childhood? Did you have both parents? And then they just start talking from there. And none of them had good childhoods or both parents or an ideal, you know, sort of emotional environment to be nurtured in. And I can't help but notice that correlation. And, you know, sometimes it's a bit depressing. It's a bit gabble matter, you know, this sort of like, this idea that like everything is down to sort of trauma in the early years of childhood. But I've got to admit, it feels right. It feels right to me. And I've had to acknowledge what my sort of mental state and my neurosis will have, what effect that will have had on my children who were like babies at the time when I was really suffering, you know, like mentally. And knowing that mental suffering is what causes your aura, you know, your frequency, your emanations, and it's that we're passing on to our kids. Yeah, but anyway, so I watched a load of these, and another commonality, maybe this isn't like a big deal, but I noticed a lot of them had chosen names related to the stars, you know, like obviously fake names, unless they weren't, you know, or, you know, like Crystal, or I can't think of any now typical, but I noticed there was a lot of names like related to sort of like outer space that these people had chosen, and they're all covered in tattoos, or a lot of them are, and they're all addicted to fentanyl or heroin or, you know, crystal meth or whatever. And they all describe how they feel like they don't belong here. They've never felt like they belonged here or fitted in. That's like a commonality in all of them. And, you know, it just upsets me so much because obviously I've felt that and so many people have felt that. And it makes me think of that old quote, God knows who it is. Is it Mark Twain or someone who, whatever, when it's just like, it's no sign of your level of sanity if you're sane in an insane world or something like that. I don't know, something like that. Basically saying like the world's fucking insane. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like I wanted to like get these people, you know. Oh man, and just be like, it's not you guys. It's like fucking hell, like we're all fucked up, by the way, don't worry. Like they're just presenting in like probably one of the most traumatic situations for like people who've got roofs over their head, you know. It's, you know, like a fear to be like homeless. That's like a fear of mine. I've got, you know, I'm always thinking about my own astrological chart, but I've got my moon in the second house and I've got a lot of fourth house shit going on, and I'm a Cancer ascendant, and, you know, it's like, I want roots, I need roots, like I am roots. It's like, yeah, you know, protection. And yeah, I think I've been feeling a lot of this vulnerability under my shell that is coming up to the surface. And I've done a couple of EFT sessions with my mate Molly at All to Love, and it's been like opening a lid on just like such suppressed emotions that I didn't realise were there, you know. It's just, yeah, I mean, I could cry and cry and cry for so many different things. I'm like, I am super raw and vulnerable right now. And at the same time, I know it's a stage that will pass, and that's why I just wanted to talk about it, you know, just get it out there. It's like, sometimes when we're feeling shit, we hide, don't we? And that's what I've been doing probably for like a year now. But definitely over the last sort of 6 months, and like digging my head in more and going into my head more, and, you know, just not doing the work, I guess, you know, just consuming rather than creating. It's kind of nice to get it off my chest, actually, and just admit it. It's like, yeah, God, I'm so fucking nosy. I'm so nosy. I'm always looking on Telegram at dirty little fear porn things. And, you know, it's like some things are really interesting for me, and I find loads of things, and then I'll go off and look at something and read. I've got different books I'm on at the minute and stuff. It's not, I'm not just there like looking at bullshit. But, you know, I'll be honest, a lot of the time I can just be scrolling through bullshit. And then there'll be just some random violent thing, and it's like, oh, you know, like my little soul didn't ask for that. I've seen that. My heart's like this. I'm like, oh, it could just be 5 seconds or something. And it's like, what do I do now? You know, it's like I shouldn't be wasting my life like this. And it's funny, like, so yeah, back to the internet. Oh, I wonder if anyone's stayed, because this is absolute horseshit again. Back to the internet, yeah. So I was wondering to myself the other day, I was staring up at the stars at night, and we've had shit weather for ages over here. And so just recently it's got quite clear before I go to bed at 9, because I'm such a party animal. And I've been looking at Orion's belt and, you know, just seeing things moving around, and it's so cool. I've been looking at the stars for so long now that I can pick out the constellations. I can see the prominent stars. I know what's going on. And what's even more beautiful is that, you know, it's so fucking small, really, you know, the band, the wheel in the sky, it's really so small, like the zodiac. And I mean, the stars that we use in the fixed stars in the nakshatras, they're a little bit above or below the ecliptic, but, you know, really the circle in the sky is pretty small and intimate, you know. And it's so cool to go out and watch the stars. I bet some of you guys do, don't you? And anyway, I was gorming up the other night, and I was like, it probably all went wrong when we stopped looking up and started fixating on looking down. And, you know, there's language and writings, and that's how we first brought down the stories from the stars and the, you know, the myths and the just everything, you know. It gives me shivers thinking about it. When I was staring at the stars the other night, I felt for sure it's like that everything originates from the stars, including language, numbers, everything. But anyway, so we stopped looking up and we started looking down and fixating down, and now we've got these goddamn devices which are tools and we should be responsible with them. I'm not responsible with them. My screen time's off the charts disgusting. I'm addicted. I'm more addicted to the phone and technology than I probably am to coffee and tobacco. So, you know, it's like, and yet I'm so aware of it. And I even had a period, like, was it last year or the year before, where I got rid of my fucking phone. And I feel like doing it now because I haven't paid my bill for 2 months. But, yeah, I feel like just being done with it. I had 6 weeks of freedom and it was amazing. And I did a video called Screens of the Magic Lucia, acting all clever. But, you know, having these same realizations that I'm having now. And yet now I'm nowhere near being able to throw my phone away. And I'm like, this is serious. Like, it's serious. I don't have Facebook. I barely use Instagram. But, like, this information that I'm consuming, you know, it's just at an all-time high. It's like, I think we all must have sort of brain damage. Fucking hell. Anyway, they're my dirty little sins. Also, I've been eating meat since Christmas. What are we in now? February. I've probably not had any for 2 weeks. But when I feel like having a bit, I have a bit, and I don't know what shifted. Do I feel guilt? No, I don't feel guilt about it. I feel like I've just, you know, if I was bothered by it, I wouldn't be doing it. So I'm obviously not ready to live my life in that way. Therefore, you know, I don't know, a lot's fucking mental. A lot's mental. And, you know, I'm just trying to love myself through these changes. It's like, yeah, I realised even from the start of my journey that there was lots of fallacies and false light and all these false expectations and things that were supposed to be, you know, this, you know, calm, meditative sort of Mother Teresa, like hugging a tree or whatever. It's like, that's not true. And if you like that, that's great. But, you know, we're all such beautiful individual shades, and we've got to remember this individuality, like in a time of global homogenizing. Ooh, felt like a little shiver then. Oh, God, Aren't we just? And, like, we don't have to fucking do anything apart from just be ourselves and speak, express, write, whatever. You know, I'm telling this to myself. It's like, I have Saturn in my 5th house. I have Mercury there as well. And Uranus. So, like, I've got a busy 5th house. 5th house is usually creativity and kids. But because Saturn's there, it's limitations and, you know, sort of setbacks or seriousness, you know, restriction, suppression. And I've always felt so, like, my expressions were so suppressed. And I still feel like that now. Like, I have so much in me, you know, to come out, to come forwards. And I think that is what's been rotting within me because I haven't been expressing it. So thank God I've realised that now. I'll just write some things down, talk some more, and paint some more, and that should be helpful, shouldn't it? Oh, God. God. Right, I'll do another video at another time because I want to talk properly about the internet and, you know, the potential of an internet blackout and just where our consciousness is as a humanity because of the internet. Yeah, it's so fucking interesting. Life's interesting, and thank God for that, because that is like, that's what like floats my boat. I'm such a fucking nerd. Honestly, I feel like I could sit at home with, like, I don't know, some soft psychedelics, and my family, obviously, and just a load of books and paper and space and free time to think and write. And I don't know, I'm very, I enjoy like my own thoughts. And I don't really have any desires to be super duper worldly or anything. Although it's funny because like I've got my North Node in Aries in the 10th house, which is sort of worldly ambitions. It's funny as well because Rahu Ketu, the North and South Node, they're just shifting signs now. They're going in their sidereal anyway. They're going into Aries and Libra, and that's where my natal ones are. It won't be like touching mine until probably another year, but it's, you know, same sign and it's coming back. And so it's 18 and a half years it takes to have a North and South Node return to your natal position. It's supposed to be big upheavals, and I'm just like, oh God, you know, sometimes it's funny, you know, how much sort of, it's not belief in the astrological energies, because I really do feel those, and I even think it's sensible to perceive that they would be giving off some emanations and frequencies that we just can't see. It would be ridiculous to think that they're not, wouldn't it? So we do get affected by the planets, and so for me it's like astrology is just more being aware of what's going on. Like awareness seems like half the battle, and then you can choose to ride things out, you know, or just to be aware that you may be a bit more reactive, or you may be, it's never really to blow smoke up anything, you know, like it's not really for the ego in a good way, although it can be helpful to validate difficult situations through looking at your natal chart. But for me, it's more about addressing your own challenges and hurdles and seeing them, you know, in an impartial way, and just being aware of those things, and you know, trying to overcome them, you know. But yeah, astrology is just amazing. I've got to do a video about it, why it's so amazing. I want to do videos about the natal chart, the houses, the planets, what it means if this planet's in this house, or blah, 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 blah. I've got so many ideas, and I'm just like sat in my own shit most of the time, like trembling and thinking about something like so bizarre and obscene, and like, you know, I was laughing the other day, like thinking, you know, because I said to this lovely lady who's got a YouTube channel yesterday, she was like, she's talking about the clones, you know, clone people, hollow people. She's like, I'm fucking sick of the clones. And I'm like, we're here to teach the clones. And she said in her video today, she's like, no, we're not. They don't even want to be taught. And it's like, yeah, she's right. It's like, it's not that. It's like, teach by leading by example. And I've laughed before, like, God, like, this is the job of us people. It's like teaching morals and humanity. Everything is flipped so badly. Like, this world is so immoral, it's or is it amoral, whatever it is, it's wrong and rotten and upside down, topsy-turvy, vomitable, that we have to have a resistance of pure good morals. And I feel like this is what the awakening's about. It's like opening your heart, forgiving yourself and everyone, living better, you know, and by doing that, it affects everybody else, and you're showing people, because you are it, you're walking in it, you know, in truth. And quite often throughout this awakening of mine, I've felt like I've been storming through life for my truth, and like, I don't know, just this last few weeks or months, just things are so, you know, so heavy. And Mars and Venus are in what's called a planetary war. They're within a degree of each other in the sky, and they have been like pretty much for like a month. And I think it'll be, is it another week or so until they separate more? It's just been really heavy, as you can imagine, like the archetypal masculine and the archetypal feminine, Mars and Venus, war and peace, or harmony, you know, and these two energies have been at war, in the skies and probably within us, you know, or definitely within me, God. So, yeah, anyway, I must do better, and I'll keep myself posted, and I hope you guys are good. Like, I'm feeling fucking really weird, really fucking weird, and it's not like me, and it's still, you know, obviously I'm still able to kick ass if I need to, but yeah, I'm feeling fear for the first time, tangible fear that's manifesting in weird fucking energy within my body, and it's literally halting me. It's halting me. So, and again, a lot of this is illusionary, and I'll have to talk myself through it and have a deeper dig inside my own goddamn closet that I've obviously locked. I must have thought I was done. I'm done with my shadow work. But, you know, it's like truth is we're never done, are we? And that makes me want to vomit as well. I think, no, you must be done at some point. And then you can just fucking sail along in the transiency of like different experiences. Like, no, I'm doing this. No, I'm doing that. Fucking blissful ignorance, but not ignorance, yeah. I guess that would be like blissful knowing when you can sail on that just constantly. But anyway, yeah, hands up. I'm feeling shit. I'm doing, you know, I'm not totally proud of myself, but at the same time, I'm not going to hate myself. It's like, I'm still a good person, you know, just because I'm feeling shit. It doesn't mean I'm depressed and I need antibiotics or, you know, I need to, I don't know, be like left alone or anything. It's just like, sometimes we don't want to mingle, do we? We don't want to show our faces. We don't want to, I don't know, we're just dealing with different shit. Yeah, and it's like, sometimes there's no logical, conscious reason for it. It's like, I know a lot of mine is where I've allowed my mind to go after consuming too much stuff. Yeah, anyway, and I've spoken shit, and now I know what I need to do. Just like do more videos, open up about the way I feel, meditate more, write down my thoughts and feelings, and do some more painting. Yeah, all right then. See ya.